What's up everyone, how's it going? So, the Droidekas are a new reinforcement that are going to be releasing next week in Star Wars Battlefront 2. But what's weird about this is that at the moment, there have been no announcement about a counter for the Droideka. And the reason I'm saying this is because DICE likes to have a counter for pretty much everything they add to the game. So every hero comes with a villain, and then every reinforcement comes from a counter reinforcement. So, for instance, whenever the ARC Trooper got released, so did the Droid Commando, and they countered each other. And some people are going to be saying the new TX-130 Saber tank that was also announced and is going to be released next week is the counter for the Droideka. I don't agree with that. I do believe that that is going to be the counter for the AAT, because I believe it was Dennis that said the TX-130 was actually one of the first vehicles they ever started working on in this game, but then they just put it aside and now they're finally finishing it and being released next week. So yeah, I don't agree that the TX-130 is going to be a counter for the Droideka. I just don't think that makes sense because they're two completely separate classes. One's a reinforcement and then one's a vehicle. But at the moment, I don't think it will be too unbalanced depending on how powerful the Droideka is, because Ben Walk did confirm that the Droideka will share the same amount of reinforcement count as the B2 Super Battle Droid. So that way there's not more reinforcement on the Separatist side than the Clone Wars side, which is good news to hear. But there's been some pretty big hints and teases that another reinforcement is still in the works, and this comes from, again, Ben Walk, and my friend Scout the Trooper said, "Ben Walk, when you said you were excited for the blank and Blake," now he is responding to this because of something back in either January or February. He said this, and so everyone thought whenever the ARC Trooper and the Droid Commando was finally announced, it was about those two. Well, he confirmed back then that it was only about the ARC Trooper, and there's still one more thing that he was talking about that was not the Droid Commando. So now that the Droidekas were announced, everyone thought, okay, it has to be this thing then. But Ben Walk responded as saying, nope, the prophecy still has not been fulfilled. So that right there confirms that there is still something else in the works, whether it's a new reinforcement or hero or something. I'm pretty sure it's going to be reinforcement to counter the Droideka. So personally, I think the most likely counter is going to be the Delta Squad Republic Commando. Now, there's a few reasons for this, but the main reason is because whenever the February update, I believe it was, whenever that update got released, we went into the files and actually could find the DC-17M pistol in the files. And if you don't know, that is actually the gun that the Republic Commando uses in the game. So that's a big sign that the Republic Commandos are going to be coming soon. At least they were working on them at some point, but I'm really positive that they are going to be released sometime in the next few months. Other than that reason, I think it just makes sense to have them counter the Droidekas because they're both very similar infiltrator classes. And even though that's already a thing in the game, who knows if they could add even more to that class. Also, there's been just a ton of people requesting them, saying we really want these in the game because they are actually canon in the Star Wars universe. Because while they did actually have their own game back in 2005, which is a great game if you have not played it, it's actually available on the Xbox store for about 10 bucks, I think. So I would be sure and check it out. But that game is no longer canon, but in one of the Clone Wars seasons, in one of the episodes, I can't remember which one, they actually introduced the Republic Commandos in it. They weren't in it for too long, but right there just makes them canon 100%, so that is really good that that happened, and that will allow them to create them back in Battlefront 2. So hopefully that actually does end up being the case. But that's just my personal opinion on what reinforcement I believe is going to counter the Droideka. So let me know down below what counter you think it's going to be. I think a lot of people are expecting Republic Commandos to be announced maybe in August or something sometime soon. But that is just speculation, so that is pretty much going to do it for today's video. If you did enjoy, be sure and leave a like. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new, subscribe for more Star Wars news, gameplay, and more. And I'll hopefully see you in the next one.